New day right here on TV3, and it's time for health, and in particular we're talking about first aid. Also just in terms of if a road accident happens, if you happen to be the first person on the scene, what should you do? A lot of times, here in Ghana, when a road accident happens, most people discern onto the car. They get on there trying to rescue the people, and a lot of times they end up causing more detriment than good, because if you're not trained properly in first aid, you can actually end up causing more harm than good. So we need to get the adequate training. However, most of us are not trained. Most of us act on instinct when we see something happening. Obviously, we know with advent of Easter also coming around, road accidents tends to obviously happen around Easter or holiday times. What can we do to avoid some of these? What should be the first thing we do if we ever chance upon an accident? Well, there's an organization called Doctors for Road Safety, and I have with me two of the people who are behind it. They're going to be explaining a bit more about the organization and also hopefully educating us on how we can be better equipped if we ever have to deal or see an accident. I want to first and foremost welcome Dr. Chadley Jimeku, who is a doctor.
Yes.
Okay, and also soon to be qualified in April, right?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Elvis Folson, who's the convener of Doctors for Road Safety. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Okay, I mean, when it comes to road safety, I think it's a thing that nothing breaks nobody's heart more than when you every other weekend or every few weeks you're reading that this accident happened on this road. Some of them obviously very detrimental. Not all of them always end up resulting in death, but when it does happen, for example, we know for most people would run. Usually people who happen to be in the rural areas, if it's along the road, and they go and they just pull in the people. Now, I know in my little training on first aid is you have to be qualified if you move somebody's neck wrong, if you do this, even if you can actually cause more injury. So let's just start. If you come upon an accident, what is the first thing one should do? So you're supposed to call emergency services. Should you go along and 5 people start pulling the people out?
Okay, so try to address that. So basically, when you chance upon an accident scene, you should first of all take the people away from danger. You get it? So basically, that's what people are trying to do. Yeah, they are over enthusiastic about it, and they end up causing more damage. Yeah. So basically, it's the central nervous system. It's in the head and the spinal cord. The brain and spinal cord make up the central nervous system. They control every part of the body. You get it? So it's running through the spine like that. So once you are over enthusiastic about it and pulling the people out and all, you end up, it's controlling every part of the body. So once you sever it or cause any compression on the spinal cord, you are going to paralyze the person. Yeah. So basically, you have to support the neck. Usually that's why we advise that they apply a flat board kind of to splint the neck. Yeah, exactly. So that you don't cause extra damage apart from what has already been done.
Okay.
Then basically if there are bleeding sites and all, you apply compression by tying some sterile cloths or something.
Whatever you can, depending on what you can find in the area.
I'm adding sterile.
Sterile.
Get it, yeah.
Okay.
Because people they may just find any cloth somewhere and then just.
So it has to be a clean cloth.
It has to be a clean cloth and tie it around to reduce the bleeding. As we always say, blood is life. So once the blood is oozing out from the person is losing life. Exactly. So basically, we have something we call ABC protocol. So the airway, breathing, and then the circulation. The circulation is basically concerned with the blood issue.
Okay, please just explain to us what the airway is. The airway, ABC. Yeah.
ABC. Okay, so the airway, apart from blood, which is life, we also say that once someone is not breathing, then the person is not living. Okay, so you are basically supposed to ensure that the airway is patent. Just make sure the person is breathing. Some of the few tips you can use to apply your finger, the back of your fingers. That's the most sensitive part of your hand. Apply the back of your fingers to the person's nose to see if the person is breathing. You see some people screaming on accident scenes, and all that. They are actually not really the people you should be concerned about.
Not the ones screaming, the ones who are not making
exactly.
Any noise.
Once you're able to talk, it means you are breathing.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for those who are silent and all, those are the people you have to pay close attention to.
Okay. Yeah. Let me, and also you talked about ABC. So C is.
So C is circulation.
Circulation. A is B is breathing.
Airway and breathing
are similar.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we missing? We have everything.
Yeah.
Okay, then in terms of as you mentioned, most people, if right now they see an accident on the motorway anywhere, they'll probably stop their car. If they're traders, they'll all run over, and most people just run. I said usually come over in the anticipation they really want to help. However, before the emergency services come, you've given us some basic tips. What are the things you should never do? What are the things that I know when you're in your haste of trying to help is a good thing, but what are some things that you think is a no? Wait for a medical person to attend, or at least get them in a taxi like we tend to do. And what are the things you should never do?
Okay, so basically we now know some of the things I just talked about, especially the C-spine. That's what we are really concerned about as medics during accident scenes. Okay, so they shouldn't. Some people are over enthusiastic and they put these victims of the accidents in taxis sitting. Yeah, it's not acceptable. Yeah, the person has first of all, as I said, the neck has to be splintered, and the person has to lie, because if the person is sitting like that, the spinal cord stretches, so it's easily contused or lacerated.
Oh, wow.
So to
the greatest step you take to controlling road traffic accidents is through the regulation and strengthening your regulatory bodies. But doctors are also a key part. For example, in managing accidents victims, and the victims stay longer with doctors. When you go to the tertiary level of management, where the doctors take care of victims, and when after that they have to come back for reviews, use prosthesis if their injuries are worse. So we realize that there are doctors play a major role in the issue of road traffic accidents. But I was involved in some research that shows that many medical students are not very strong on the primary and secondary aspects of road safety. And we feel that when that is lacking, then we are shooting ourselves in the foot, because we cannot get ourselves to prevent the accidents that has given us so many patients. So we want doctors to come together and try and prevent accidents by speaking more to the people they meet, because doctors are also very influential. The second thing is that we want medical students and young doctors, because they have the most contact with the public. So that's what I would say in short caused us to form this online community, on Facebook. So it's just DFRS West Africa, Doctors for Road Safety West Africa, and you can go there and just join. We want to start talking about it, and we know that in prevention, in medicine, when you want to effect behavioral change, one thing to do is to keep repeating what you are saying. We want to keep repeating the things that would help us prevent accidents. And so we think that this forum is a good place for all doctors, medical students to come. Let's join hands and help prevent road traffic accidents. And like you just discussed, when they do happen, how do we come in to ensure that they are safe? And even post-accidents, how do we get involved with them and make sure that they are integrated well into society? That's the community health aspects of road safety, and that's what our online community is about promoting.
Okay, I mean, this organization you guys have come up with, are you working in conjunction with, say, the Ghana Road Safety Commission? Because I know you're doctors, but is there any way to link up? Because it's very important, the medical services like yourself and them. Is there any collaboration as of yet?
Yeah, very interesting question. It's through the research that I did, I had a lot of contact with the National Road Safety Commission and Mr. Twahine and the team over there. And they are very interested in some of the modules that we are promoting, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. Another interesting thing is there's a project called the Decade of Action for Road Safety by the WHO. We know this is an organization that's traditionally for health promotion. And yet, from 2011 to 2020, we are running this project called the Decade of Action for Road Safety. So I think that that's also part of our inspiration. We want doctors to be involved, and we are joining hands with the National Road Safety Commission and all the other organizations, the MTTU, to promote this road safety. Another interesting thing is just the recent 65th anniversary of the College of Health Sciences. And the topic that was discussed was on road safety, the role of doctors, and Engineer May was there and with her assistant. And it was a very good discussion there at the Great Hall. I attended it. And so there's increasing collaboration between the medical sector and the National Road Safety Commission. And we think together we can build up safety on our roads.
All right, well, you made a point of where, when it comes to road accidents, usually the doctors, I mean, once they're brought into the hospital, the medical facilities, is the health workers that are basically there to treat. So you're trying to prevent road safety. What can this organization do, apart from talking, to get the information out to people out there watching, in order to make themselves more aware, to avoid these road accidents in total? Is there anything?
Well, I think I'll take that. We are doing this project, like you said, but we don't want to just do it in the dark. So we do have initiatives that we are using to reach out to the general public. And one important initiative is to do with what we call mobile health technology. Mobile health technology is a very established form of communicating with people in mobile health issues. I think in Ghana, predominantly, we work with maternal health, where mothers receive information on how they can better improve the survival chances of their children. So I'm just giving us an example of mobile health. So we are doing an application on road safety where, for example, a normal person can call a number like 30020 on MTN and receive information on road safety.
Okay.
So another interesting thing about that we have discovered is that once the person is able to handle a mobile phone, then the person can have access to this information. The person doesn't need to know how to read and write. Out of the pedestrian safety class, children are very important. The reason is that they often have divided attention. And I have a friend who says when you are driving and you see a ball cross you on the road, you should know that a child will be following that ball with no recourse to what is going to happen next. So I have to say that it's with their advice that we came up with a model that we will be running on Junior Graphic. And in that module, we are trying to include all the junior high schools nationwide. And this model will put out animated cartoons on the sponsored page. Can I mention the sponsor who is coming on board?
Yeah.
Indomie. Their corporate social responsibility is to do with road safety. So we are about closing a deal with them to come on board and help promote road safety for school children. And the way they will do this is to read the junior graphic, get the information, and then we get feedback to them through the social networks.
Okay.
So that's another thing that's coming up. Even right now, we have an active WhatsApp page, 050-811-4005.
Look at that again.
050-811-4005. The interesting thing is that whilst we have still pictures in the daily graphic, we can have animated short videos sent to them through WhatsApp. It's just 30 seconds. And we are talking about running it on TV3 and other station networks as well. But we feel that through the social networks, they can be more involved. And that's our plan. On the ground, we want road shows, but we want to go out and do that later on in the phase 2 of our project. So that is what I say. That's what I think we will do with children,
Okay.
and that's what we're actually rolling out almost
All right.
immediately. Yeah.
Doctor, before we wrap up on this, I just want you just to take us back to, just educating ourselves. Just if you chance upon a road accident, just to that reminder of, first and foremost, what is the first thing? They always say, I know with first aid, they say check for vitals. Can you explain to us what those basic check for vitals is to determine what you should do with the patients next? Obviously, before you call an ambulance or put them in a taxi to take them to the hospital.
Okay, so basically checking for vitals. I don't know if it is the
right
platform to, because it's technical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But usually,
vitals,
generally, before the doctors come on board or the medical services, we know is the average person on the street. So at least it's the most basic thing that you can teach some of us, though, in case we ever happen to chance upon one, what we can do.
Okay. I think the most appropriate thing to talk about now will be triaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, will be triaging, because for the vitals and stuff,
it's technical.
medical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've been watching a lot of ER. When you watch ER in these medical shows, they tell you, yes, check for the vitals. So that's my TV I've been watching. But the basic ones.
Okay. So basically, as I said, triaging is basically segregating those who are more severely injured from those who are less injured. You get it? So people who are more at risk of dying,
okay,
do you get it, should receive medical attention first.
And it's not the one screaming Ajay, because they can breathe, they're talking.
Exactly.
Okay.
Once someone is talking, it means the person can breathe.
Okay.
You get it? Well, phonation is from the vocal cords, which is in close alignment with the airway. You get it? So once you have phonation, once you are phonating, you can.
Okay, nice. So at least in an emergency, obviously people will go to different people, but go for the ones you said that's not making any noise.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And basically make sure there's, I don't know if I say
pulse.
Good.
Yes.
Wow.
A pulse. I watch ER. I watch Grey's Anatomy. I know. Yes.
Okay. So basically there should be a pulse. If there's no pulse, then it's dangerous.
Okay.
So that person without a pulse should receive medical attention immediately.
So
those
breathing
good.
As well.
Wow. Yeah. So if the person is not.
I have basic first aid knowledge, but that was like 10 years ago. Basic.
There's more than basic. I think.
Okay. All right. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. So and then
breathing.
I don't know if this is appropriate.
So with the breathing too, you said I've seen sometimes in movies and things where people take a mirror to put under the person's nose.
Steam to check. Yeah. Exactly.
But also your fingers can
the back of your fingers are the most sensitive part of your hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you do that, you can be able to. And the basic thing is once the person is talking, don't worry. The person is breathing.
All right.
Exactly.
If the person is able to walk away, is it good to remove them from the accident scene to take them away? Because I've heard of sometimes maybe the car it could explode or something. So you should, if they can walk, you should move them away, or should you treat them where the accident is? Basic first aid.
As I said, the first thing when you go to an accident scene is ensure safety of the victim.
Okay.
So move the person away from danger. That's the first thing. Is the way to move that's the problem now.
Aha.
Exactly. So basically splint the neck.
Splint the neck. Some of us, please. Splinting is what?
Exactly.
We don't know what splinting is.
applying a flat board just to make sure that the neck is immobile.
Okay.
Exactly. And then making sure that all injured surfaces are well bandaged.
Okay,
so that's to reduce bleeding.
All right, I want to just focus on the moving because I think that's quite important. So if you just get a piece of a plank of wood, if it's available, and you carefully, with help of maybe a couple of people, lift them on and they're flat, it's better than 5 people, one taking the arm, one taking here pulling.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You shouldn't pull.
Okay, but a lot of times too, in situations when they're not available, is there a correct way? Is there a way, maybe for example, you can support the neck in order to move them?
Yeah, so as much as possible. The main thing they should be aware of is the neck. So if you are carrying someone without a splint, then make sure there's someone also supporting the neck, someone supporting the back. You get it? Just make sure that the person is in close alignment with your palms.
Okay.
You get, so that there's no real or active movement of the various joints in the spine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Ghana's done very well. We have ambulances, and lots of them. And if you call, of course, the ambulance service, we hope can get to you real response. But a lot of times, we know sometimes it's not readily available that quick. So most of the time, we use a vehicle or a taxi. So in order, you said to transport them, you said they should be lay
possible,
flat,
yeah.
if possible.
Yeah.
Okay, just clarify that. And why is that? Why should they lay them flat?
Exactly. As I said, once, like where I'm seated now, once I move this way, it's stretching the spinal cord. You get it? And if there's pressure already on the spinal cord and you stretch it, it can easily be lacerated.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's why we always advise that the person should lie flat. In that case, the spinal cord is in its neutral position. You get it? So it will be more difficult for you to bruise it. You get it? So that's the most important thing. Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, when you get them to the medical facility or hospital, then the likes of you people, you check the vitals, not me. Okay.
Yeah, we check the vitals.
Brilliant. I want to say thank you to Dr. Chadley Shemuku and also Elvis Forson. Qualifying in April. I like that. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Amma, for having us.
Just tell them your Facebook page again if people want
to join. So you go to facebook.com and / then DFRS West Africa. You can also send us a mail, dfrswestafrica@gmail.com.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to everyone coming on board. WhatsApp, we want to be on WhatsApp. Send information over WhatsApp. So 05081140005. And let's form a team that will win.
Nice. Okay, so they are from Doctors for Road Safety, and I want to say thank you very much. This has been our health segment, proudly brought to you by Lipton.